Hi everyone, it's Lorie and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well today. So today I wanted to come on and share some wonderful gifts that I received from my mother. Last week she came over one day for a few hours and hung out with me because I hadn't really saw her since my surgery. And I think I had mentioned in another video that my girls and their kids actually, and my son actually went on a trip to Myrtle Beach, and of course they invited mom, so mom went with them. And Myrtle Beach is in South Carolina. Mom is originally from Rockingham, North Carolina, and as you all know the story, her and her three sisters grew up in an orphanage in Clinton, South Carolina, and my mom went when she was 9. Her mother actually died from cancer when she was 9 years old, so they were all really small. I think mom was the third born. Aunt Linda was the youngest one, and all of her siblings have passed. My Aunt Pat, her oldest sister, passed away in 72, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was 72, 71, 72. And then over the past 3 or 4 years, my Aunt Linda as well as my Aunt Gloria both passed away. So it's just mom left. Mom does have a great aunt who is her, or a aunt, I'm sorry, who was her mother's sister. It's actually my great aunt. And she came over, had someone bring her over for a visit while they were in Myrtle Beach. So according to mom, they had a really good time. Of course, she was able to see my kids and grandkids and all that. So, yeah, they had a wonderful visit. Well, my great aunt had actually brought my mother some items, guys. So these are, I guess, pretty much the only, like, quote-unquote family heirlooms that my family has, you know, given the situation with my mom and her siblings having to go and grow up in the orphanage. So very excited that mom brought me these. These are some pictures here that I'm actually just going to make copies of and give them back to mom. I just have to dig out my photo paper because I would like to do them on photo paper. We'll go through a few of those really quickly. And then this pack here is actually mine to keep, and there are letters, guys, in my grandmother's handwriting. So yeah, very, very excited about that. Getting a little emotional already, and we haven't even got started. So this, guys, right here is leather bound, and it says Loving Memories, and this is actually the book that everyone signed at my grandmother's funeral. So we will just open it up and go through it really quick. Kind of set that over there. So this is what this looks like. And of course it has a good bit of patina on it. She was actually diagnosed in 1954. And she passed away in, I believe it was September, we'll look and see, of 1958. So she only lived for like 4 years, excuse me, after finding out that she had cancer. And this is from Rockingham, North Carolina, the funeral home. And this copyright for the book is 1946. So she is my namesake. So right here we do have her name, and it's Isla Mae Turner, Richmond County, Rockingham, North Carolina. Date July 15th, 1924 was when she was born. And she died September 14th, not the 15th, of 1958. And her funeral was at Richmond Memorial Park, Rockingham, North Carolina. She was only 34 years old, 1 month and 30 days. Isla Mae Webster Turner. Webster was her maiden name. And this says it's held at, I can't really read that, Free Will Baptist Church, September 15th, 1958 at 3:30 p.m. So this was the day after. And then the Reverend Walter Carter was officiating. Got nothing under sermon notes. It is kind of trying to fall apart, guys. And then we have music, and I actually saw this. It says special song selection. And I'm not sure who sung it or what version it was, but it was called Just One Rose Will Do. I did go and YouTube some older versions of that song, and me and Mom sat there on the couch and listened to it, and she said she does remember that song being played at her mom's funeral. These were the ring bearers. Oops, I think nope, I didn't. Yep, I did. Final resting place. She is actually buried at Richmond Memorial Park in Rockingham, North Carolina. Then we have family records. So we have my grandmother, Ella Mae Turner Webster was her maiden name. Born in 1924, passed in 1958. John R. Webster, which I'm assuming was her father, was born in 1894 and died in 1972. Leona Lancaster Webster was her mother. She was born in 1899, passed in 1975. Her grandfather, her father's father, was Charles Webster, born 1861, died in 1936. Her father's mother was Ida Elizabeth Webster, born 1865, passed in 1907. Mother's father was Richmond Lancaster, born in 1876, passed in 1951. Mother's mother was Ava Mae Lancaster, so it was named after her as well. It's her mom's mom. So this is her grandmother. So 1, 2, 3. So that's my third times great-grandmother. Wow. Born in 1879, died in 1934. And she was married to a Richard Turner, who was born in 1920. He died, I think, in 1967, if I'm not mistaken. Other members of the family, it names her children. And they've got it in opposite order of birth. But Linda Faye Turner was my Aunt Linda. Barbara Lynn Turner, my mother. Gloria Jean Turner, my Aunt Gloria. And Patricia Ann Turner, my Aunt Pat. You guys have no idea how awesome it is to have this. Being that I've always longed for some type of family heirloom, you know. I did get my Aunt Linda's Bible when she passed, and of course some things of Aunt Gloria's, but yeah. So these were all the people who came to her funeral. Mom said she did recall, for whatever reason, they would not let the 4 girls sign this, which I think they should have let them sign it, but whatever. So those are the pages of that. And then we have a farewell here. A floral tribute, so people who sent flowers. And yeah, this page is completely off. So that is that. Very, very happy to have that. That will, of course, be passed down to mine. So now we get into some pictures, and you guys know how crazy I am about black and white photos. I think we will do the letters first. Mom didn't tell me that the letters were in there. When she told me about these things. I'm going to try to lower you guys. Okay, maybe there will be good. Just so that you can see them just a little bit better, because some of them's really small. So this right here would be my great-grandmother. My grandmother's mother. And that is my Aunt Pat. And then this, I'll have to think on that one. Aunt Linda. Okay, so that's who that is. So these two are my Aunt Linda. You guys know her and I were really close. This, guys, is my mother and her cousin. Look. And Mom doesn't even know which is which. So, I don't know. Anyway, how cute. And then here we have Grandma and her siblings when they were little. And this is my mom. This was in 1983, and she was 33 years old. It's my mommy. This is Grandma, Grandpa, and Aunt Pat. So that's my grandparents. Hope you guys can see it okay. And this is actually my Aunt Ruth. She's the one that brought my mom the pictures, and my Aunt Pat. This was April of 1957. Grandpa, Mom, and Aunt Linda. And Mom's the one over here. I would recognize that face anywhere, because her pictures and my sister's pictures look exactly the same. This is Aunt Sue, and no, it was it was Aunt Sue who brought. Oh, I don't know. I get them confused. Anyway. And there's Mom there. But yeah, so I'm just going to hold these up really quickly and stop saying who is who. This is the 4 girls when they were little. And this one's my mom there. That is Aunt Pat. I was told she was quite a rebel, is what I heard. It's Aunt Pat. This was at my grandmother's funeral. And this, guys, is actually, ooh, let's see, that's Brandon and that's Angela. So this is my son, this is my mom, this is Angela, and this is myself. So that would have been, Angela was born in 89, so that would have been in 1989. Wow. And this is me at my sister's wedding. I think this was in the 80s as well. Not sure what date. And this is Mom, Aunt Gloria, and Aunt Linda. It's Mom, Aunt Gloria, Aunt Linda. This is me and my mom at my sister's wedding. Wow. This is also at my grandmother's funeral. This is my Aunt Linda. She's so pretty. This is also Aunt Linda. This is my mother and Pawpaw when they were married. Pawpaw, you guys hear me talk about Pawpaw. He was actually married to my mom when I had my children. So even though their marriage didn't work out, to my dearest grandmother and Ruth, love y'all, Gloria. It says, dig that smile. Oh. And this is, I don't know what is on that. It feels textured somehow. This, guys, is my grandmother and Willie Webster, her brother. Look at how beautiful she is. That beauty did not get carried down this far. Look at how gorgeous she is. Oh my. But yeah, so even though Mom and Pawpaw divorced, Pawpaw was still Pawpaw, and there is Pawpaw again. It's my little brother James, and that's actually my ex-husband. It's the oldest two's father. This is my Aunt Gloria and her crew when they were, you know, a lot younger. No dates. It just says, okay, July 90, so I'm thinking 1990 maybe. And I said I was going to start out with the letters, and I didn't. I got right into the pictures, didn't I? I'm sorry. I'm just slightly overwhelmed. Okay, so this is from my grandmother to her mom. This is looks like January 12th, 1958 maybe. So that would have been the year that she passed, in September. This is my grandmother's handwriting, y'all. January 17th. Dear Mother, I will try and answer your letter. Her handwriting in cursive looks just like my mom's. Oh, sorry, I just realized that. I will try. My mom still writes in cursive. So I will try and answer your letter that I received today. Sure was glad to hear from you all. This leaves all well but me. I have so much fluid in my stomach. I'm sorry, guys. Just a moment. Okay, let's try again. This leaves all well but me. I have so much fluid in my stomach until I can't even fasten my dress that I had made. I haven't felt good since I got back from Winston-Salem last week. They really did give me the works. But don't you worry, for I am still up and going. Sure hope this finds you all well. She was dying, guys. I was sorry to hear that Willie hasn't found himself a job. I have no idea who Willie is, guys. I tell him he ought to come to Chester, for they are wanting fixers and weavers. Robert told us this week. All the kids said to tell you hello and send you their love. I hated to hear about Viola. And if she does come home, you go to the law and make Bill support them, for it is his job. And if they have to put him on the road, then the county will have to give her so much for the kids. Tell everyone hello for us. Well, as news is short, I will close right soon. Love, Ella May. That, can you see it? Is her signature. Ella May. P.S. Mother, I got my phone bill today. Those calls that Sue said she would pay $2.36, I would not have told you, but our bill was $12.45 this month, and I have got to get back to Winston the 18th of February if they don't send for me before then. If you have it, you can send it. If not, that's okay. Yeah, guys, she was dying here. So she actually had non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver is what she passed from. So, yeah. And this one is... Okay, so that one's from Grandma. And this one... Oh, this one is from Grandpa. So, I don't know if I mentioned, but Grandpa, this is how, I always say God has a sense of humor. Sometimes a slightly warped sense of humor. But, sorry guys, I still find it amusing. So, Grandma, who is a God-fearing woman, never drank, dies of non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver, and Grandpa, her husband, was the alcoholic. This right here, guys. So, yeah. So, after Grandmother passed, he got himself in some trouble and got himself into jail. and that was here in Georgia. So this is actually a letter from my grandfather from the Walton County Jail in Monroe to would have been his mother-in-law. This was dated 1967. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that may be the year that he passed. He was actually on the chain gang working on the roads and was hit and killed along with a guard and a couple of boys standing on their bicycle on the side of the road watching the convicts work. So this is from Richard Turner. So this is my grandfather's handwriting. I don't know if I will be able to read it. I have not read this one. Okay, so it's from Richard Turner, Walton County Jail, Monroe, Georgia. Dear Miss Webster, I will write you a few lines to let you know that I got your letter and sure was glad to hear from you. This leaves me well and sure hope that these few lines will go on well and happy and have me and can never be happy again for the something one ever loved is gone and has been for a long time. He's talking about Grandma. I can never love anyone like I loved Alame, for she thinks that she got a good man this time. She came to see me Wednesday and her husband came with her. Okay, so I don't know what this is. Walter Howard, and he said that she was... Okay, so I think this is something else. I'm reading it wrong. Okay. Oh, this one, my mom said there was a page missing. That's right, so I do apologize. So this goes on where he's talking about Grandma. And then this part's talking about someone else, because this is the one that she said a page was missing. That's right. I think that she got a good man this time. So he did remarry, so maybe he's talking about that woman. She came to see me Wednesday, and her husband came with her. New name is Walter Howard. And he said that she would write you, and if you could tell everyone that I said hello and that I sure would love to see them well as something is short, well adored, and enclose my letter. Love, Richard. Miss Webster, tell Willie if he can to please send me cigarettes. Richard, he didn't even mention his girls. Hopefully he mentioned it in the page. I'm going to choose to believe that he mentioned them after mentioning their mother. And, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, sorry, I didn't read this one before now, guys. I don't know why. Okay, so we have that. And then we have these, and I believe these were kind of thank yous for people that sent flowers. It says, in acknowledgement of your kindness. Words can never express our appreciation for your kindness and sympathy. Our burden has been lightened, but your comforting by your comforting expression, a la May Turner family. And then here was another one. The honor which you conferred upon our loved one by acting as a bearer. Okay, this is to the ring bearers. Is greatly acknowledged and deeply appreciated, a la May Turner family. So these must have been a couple that was left, and I'm sure it was Aunt Sue and Aunt Ruth, which is two of grandmother's sisters that got those together. So that probably explains why she has that. Alright, so these are some that are different, some that are the same. So again, I know this video is dragging on, so I'm just going to go really, really quickly and show you guys these. Now, these four that I'm going to show you guys is my mother. All four of those. This is my beautiful mama. And I couldn't decide which two I wanted because it's two for me and two for my sister. These are my aunts. So I wanted to take a picture of all four and then hopefully decide. Sorry guys, so emotional. This is actually my sister, Ladybug. This is my Aunt Linda's granddaughter, one of them. This is my Aunt Gloria's son. This is Ladybug. This is Aunt Sue or Aunt Ruth. I get them both confused. Mom, Aunt Gloria, and Aunt Linda. And that's another one from the funeral. This is my mom, Aunt Pat, and Aunt Gloria, I believe. No, Linda. Aunt Linda. Not sure whose funeral that was. It may have been their dad's. I'm not sure. Just going to go really quickly. Aunt Sue, Aunt Ruth, grandmother's sisters. Sorry guys, I just keep getting choked up. Aunt Gloria's kids and grandkids. And this is my son Brandon when he was little, my mom and my sister. Alright guys, I thank you all for coming along with me today as we go through these. I've had them for a little over a week. I think it was last week that I got them. Could have been the week before, who knows. But just been procrastinating a bit because I knew it would be emotional. So, yeah, I do appreciate you guys coming along with me. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.